Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all. My name is Aizan bin Chening, the moderator for the podcast for today. And here we have a moderator, student year 5, in medical student year 5, and currently posting in obstetric and gynecology. So, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good evening. Okay, my name is Shahira Nazira, Mohd Desa. You guys can call me Shahira. Yes, as the moderator said, I'm currently in obstetric and gynecology, second posting in year 5.
So, for today, the topic is based on the stigma of abortion and also providing a support system for women. First of all, I will tell about the stigma that currently having in our society. Abortion, if one of us or anyone in our country especially heard about it, we will say that, oh, why? Why do you abort that baby? Why do you kill that baby especially? So it's kind of cruel word to say that we kill the baby without any reason. But we don't know the current condition for the mother who pregnant for the child. We don't know what is the condition for it to abort. But the stigma that currently having in our society today doesn't kill the children but killing the mother. So going to the question to for our speaker today, is abortion morally wrong?
Yes, as the moderator clearly saying, is abortion was morally wrong. So, as we know, being a medical student, we're introduced to terms as miscarriage, or also known as abortion. So, miscarriage meaning that determination or loss of pregnancy in our country, we take it less than 22 weeks. So, abortion or miscarriage, after that we call it as stillbirth. We don't call it as miscarriage anymore. So all around the country, all around the globe, actually, abortion has been very and one of the controversial issue. So, and when you search for it, it is an argument. Okay, meaning that some people think that it is morally wrong, and some people think that it is a correct things to do. So that's why in our country we have a law. Okay, you can find it as a Sharia law in our country. Clearly mentioned that it is illegal. Okay, it is legal for the abortions to be done by a pregnant woman, except when there is some exceptions lah, is some indication determined by the government medical officer to do it. So of course, there are some contraindication for abortions.
Thank you for the opinion about is the abortion morally wrong. So we can say that in some condition it is acceptable for you to abort. So with the
Mm-hmm.
stigma that are having circulating in the society, what actually trigger it and how to break the stigma? So it's two in one question. So maybe
Okay,
something.
what trigger the stigma? So as we know, stigma previously determined by government, which is one of the Canadian sociologists. It says it an attribute that conveys devalued stereotypes, mean people discriminating all the people. So we have a lot of stigma. So we have social stigma, for example, that we want to talk today. So what triggers the stigma about in pregnant women, in pregnant lady? Okay, so of course, when a partner being pregnant, it endorse themselves to have a new baby, so they will share it to their family members, to their close friends, and then suddenly during 8 weeks or 9 or 10 weeks of a period of gestation, the pregnancy, the pregnancy age, suddenly the women get abortions. So what triggers the stigma? Of course, when she already told the public that she want to get pregnant, the public will assume that she will get pregnant, but later she didn't, isn't it? And the public will say, or the family members will say, okay, this is the woman's fault. Okay, maybe because of the in medical we say it as cervical insufficiency, which is exactly the female factors okay, compared to the male factors. So they will blame each other. So that I think what triggers the stigma. They discriminating people because of the women cannot get pregnant, right? So another one is how to break this stigma. This is we're talking about the mental health problems. Okay, the stigma can cause the women to get depression later on. So of course we don't want it. So how to break the stigma? Of course, all the positivity. The woman or the pregnant lady needs to think positive first, and then get help. Get help from the family members, from their close friends, and talk to them, and be open of their problems. And thought if they think okay, the abortion is caused by their underlying medical illness, medical problems, for example, because we know women who are in advanced age, advanced maternal age, who have underlying diabetes or thyroid problems, okay, will have a risk factor to get abortion or to get miscarriage. So if they think that this is their problem, this is the reasons, okay, why they get abortion. So get help from the professionals, from the health professionals to for them to control their conditions. So for me, it is if you search for it, it's actually how to break the stigma. It's actually how the pregnant lady, how the people who surviving it handle the stigma. Okay.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah.
So what can I conclude from the answer is what trigger is based on mindset of each of us. It's like your community, not from community, but each of us how we think about the stigma, and also how to break is what just the speaker said that how to break is we need to communicate, and also we need to tell people, okay, why do we abort, we need to tell people why, because if we don't tell, they will keep going the stigma until generation. Thank you. First of all, as you said just now, about a bit about the law. So should abortion legal or illegal?
Okay. If the woman did it okay, against the law, of course it's legal things to do, isn't it?
Mm.
Um, so in the law clearly mentions that whoever did abortion without the correct indication, okay, because we know certain abortion need to be done, okay, for in our side as a medical students, okay, being you also as a future doctors, you pregnant lady, for example, who comes with bleeding, okay, missed period and then bleeding and etc. It's not common for a pregnant lady just to 8 weeks or 9 weeks to comes with a lot of bleeding. So we suspected for an miscarriage or abortion. So then we investigate. We do like ultrasound, etc., whether to see whether the fetus is a viable or non-viable pregnancy. And then we advise the mother, if it is an early trimester pregnancy, you can advise the mother to do for an abortion. Why? Because certain indication, people keep saying that what abortion is being done because it can bring dangers to the mother. For example, mother keep bleeding, so mother can have hypovolemic shock, for example, if it a lot of internal bleeding. So it can bring actually dangers to the mother. So it's just one of the indication for abortion.
Thank you for the speaker, and also based on what speaker said, you said just now, to abortion, legal or illegal must based on the advice of a doctor. Means we need to see on the condition, history, and also the phase, the phase in trimester of the pregnant woman. Before that, to avoid any confusion among our viewers, later on. Can you a little bit explain about the phase when a woman pregnant, means the trimester?
Okay. In for in pregnancy, we divided into three trimester. Okay, first, second, and third trimester. So miscarriage happens in usually in the first trimester. during your first week until up to the 10 weeks, for example. That is the most common times, okay, for the miscarriage to happen. And they have their own reasons. Okay, when it happens, we call it early trimester abortion, early trimester miscarriage. And so in general, first trimester can be from the first week to the 14th. And then 14 to the 27 weeks is the second trimester. And then following that will be the third trimester. So miscarriage happen we divided that in terms of how we manage the patient you're going to abortion. You can have early trimester miscarriage and late trimester miscarriage.
Thank you. Hope
Okay.
that explain about any confusion among our viewers later on. So, we just now we have said that about the condition, illegal or not illegal. After we have discussed about the abortion part, the legal part, the law part, we can say that woman life is matter lah to abort. Woman life matter more than the child, but we have to also see on the child side. Means that we have see on both side. So if the baby can harm the mother, we need to abort it. Is it correct?
Yes.
And vice versa lah. Okay, so after we have discussed a bit on that, we know that abortion have two, safe and also an unsafe part. So can you explain a little bit a barrier to access to safe abortion?
Barrier means the challenges
Uh,
to assess a safe abortion.
yes, because
Uh, okay, so for these questions, WHO clearly explain about the safe abortion. But for up to my knowledge, I think safe abortion is done by already assessing all the general health well-being of the mother, okay, and also the baby itself, okay, the fetus itself. And then we decide, okay, whether we want to do medically. For example, we're giving the mother some medication, oral medication is part of medical management for abortion. Second one, of course, the women will be referred for a gynecologist to do it, which is surgical management, which is the woman will be put under operating rooms, okay, to do the some surgical procedures to remove the non-viable fetus. Okay, so for me, it is what it means by safe abortion. Certain barriers, of course, if the women have some traditional belief, okay, that they don't want to do it in a medical way. Okay, they want to do it by their own midwife at homes, for example. So when they do at homes, okay, for example, midwife we call them a doula. Okay, that's the word. So they don't have the good facilities if anything happens to the mother. So they can also have complication later, like a lot of bleeding and when the fetus is going out during the removal. So the transfer from the house to the hospital may take a few times, a few hours, for minutes, for example, if it is far from homes. This is what I call as logistic issue. So I think it is the second cause of barrier. First, if the women have some traditional belief, traditional way for her to do the abortion. And second, a logistic issue if their house is far from home.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer. So I hope I now I know that what is the access, the barrier access. Because if we can see from now, even we live in the year of 2022, maybe Chinese New Year for now, and also the year of the tiger. So there is also some place, some area in our country is far away from medical side, or maybe a site that you can access to medical access. Okay, so thank you. That's only for the abortion part. So let's go for the next topic, which is today our topic is stigma on abortion, also providing support. So about the support system for women in abortion. So my question is how to promote positivity in women decision, choices and right after we have discussed on the abortion part.
Okay, getting the support systems in for women. Okay, like in our hospitals. Okay, we have a place what we call as one stop crisis center. So especially the women or the teenagers. Okay, who undergone sexual abuse. Okay, and then they got pregnant and they wants to abort. Okay, so they don't know whether this is the right decision for them or not. So these places provide a service for them, okay, to and to let them know about their condition, for example. So we will assess all the physical examination, all the issue will be taken there. Okay, of course, this place is not available throughout all over the country. Okay, and for me, the support system for women, first, of course, the family members. Okay, they will seek for their family members helps, and second for their friends, and third, in our countries there are a lot of women support agencies. Okay, like for example in the Jabatan Kebajikan atau Jabatan Pembangunan Wanita.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer. So what can I conclude from the answer is that the support system mainly is coming from family itself, friends, and also the big part of it is the government. So the next question is, we know today mental health issue is important. So how to provide a mental health support for abortion woman? Is it the same just now or is it different?
How to provide mental health support? Okay, they can choose whether they want to have service uh, from the NGOs, or any NGOs, or from the private sectors, or even from the government sectors. So, like in our hospital, we will refer. Okay, we refer them if they think that they got problems. Okay, usually the most common problems that they have, okay, like depression after the abortions. But you see, at the first encounters to the patient, of course, we reassure them, and the things that they worried about is, will they get pregnant more or again later after this pregnancy? That's the thing that they've been worried. So doctors being the first encounter to them to reassure them that there's a lot of women out there, even though they went for an abortion for the first time, even for the second time, they still have chances for another pregnancy. So we reassure them that. So most of them can go for uh, uh, most of them can accept these things. Okay, so we don't want the things that we don't want them to get depressed. Okay, which is one of the mental health issue or mental health problems. So counselings, okay, from the counselors, they can choose, okay, their own counselors. Or from, if we think that they going through like PTSD, for example, post traumatic stress syndrome or disorder, we can refer them to our psychiatrists. So at the first place, they can do it by themselves. Okay, there's certain ways, there's certain techniques. Okay, in mental health problems or mental health issues that they can tackle on even by themselves without going to the counselors or psychiatrists.
Thank you for the
Okay.
answer. Yes, so I think I agree with the answer because first of all, the one that this patient encounter after the abortion or maybe before the abortion and also during the abortion is the doctor that treat her. So that's all for the support system for women. I believe that we have covered in the podcast. We have covered all the topic about the abortion until the support system. So maybe just a quote for women out there. A woman has fundamental right to overcome this choice for herself. I think maybe came or maybe it's KAME. I don't know how to spell it, but right to claim this choice for herself. And for the last part, maybe I want to say thank you to the speaker for your times. Thank you for today, and thank you for the audience that has watched, view this video. And also, um, I want to remind again on the audience, maybe a bit of conclusion about the impact on abortion is that don't worry, you have people around you. Don't be alone. Get help, seek help. Because if you are alone in fighting alone with yourself, we it's not good. It's not good for your health, for your mental health, and for everyone around. Just believe that you are being loved. So stay safe. Thank you again to the speaker for this session, and stay safe, especially during this pandemic. For the speaker, do you have any last word to give for the audience?
Okay, thank you for inviting me. If, as you know, I'm still a medical student, so if it is anything wrong, you can always clarify them to your own doctors. And okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you again. I think that's all. Bye bye.
Bye.